Welcome back to Bay Area Focus. Bayview Hunters Point Community Legal works tirelessly to help San Francisco residents enforce their civil rights. Adrian, Tirtanadi and Onki Kwan will share their services now. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
All right, let's first talk about the need, Adrian. It's the least legal aid, it's the least resource social service in the U.S.
Yeah, we believe legal aid is the least resource social service in the U.S. Less than 20% of low-income residents in the United States get any help in any way on their legal problems. And these problems are really important, like preventing evictions and recovering damages after consumer fraud. And the lack of providers is kind of causing people to go into poverty or preventing them from escaping poverty.
And it's not really the lack of lawyers, right?
Yeah, actually the U.S. has more lawyers per capita than almost any country in the world. The problem is less than 1% of the total funding for legal services goes to legal aid and public defenders combined.
In California, it's a big problem as well.
It is a big problem in California. Best estimates suggest that there's about 860 legal aid attorneys for the entire state.
Which seems small compared to how big the state is.
Right, there's almost 40 million residents.
Sure. So what does Bayview Hunters Point Community Legal do?
So we're trying to become the country's first universal access provider of legal aid, which means that everyone in our service area can get legal representation if they come to us on any viable problem they have, no matter how much they make.
And Onki, you grew up in San Francisco, you went to school in the Bayview. How have you seen it change?
When I was growing up in San Francisco, I felt that San Francisco was a pretty dangerous place to be. I lived near some gang houses. There was a lot of gang activity, and I heard shootings every night, and I just thought that was a normal thing. Almost everyone in my family got robbed within months of moving into the Excelsior. And when I came back from college, I just noticed how much different it was. It just felt like a safe place and not what I was used to growing up.
What are some of the problems that remain?
Well, in the Bayview, it's still the most economically disadvantaged part of the city, but because everything is so expensive now, people who are more well off are moving into the neighborhood. And residents here are concerned that because these wealthier people are moving in, they're going to be pushed out.
Well, we do have a video of a single mom who talks about that issue.
I'm a 36-year-old single mom from San Francisco, California. A couple years ago, my son's father was murdered, and he was the primary breadwinner, and I had to relocate back to San Francisco because of the resources they have. I was able to get some housing assistance, and that's when I moved to the Bayview. Last year they tried to say that I haven't paid them rent, and they attached over $10,000 to my account, served me with a 14-day notice when actually I was paying my rent. That's when I found out about Bayview Hunters Point Community Legal. They got all the facts, they helped me present my case, and they helped me go in there and win my case.
So you do a lot of work for the people in that community. How about business owners? How do you help them thrive?
So I think it's important to know that a lot of times business owners have both legal issues and business issues, and it's very difficult to grow a thriving business when you have legal issues. So the Direct Services program helps business owners surmount their legal issues so that they can grow a thriving business. And what we do for businesses is we help them raise equity financing and allow community members to invest in these businesses.
Now, the community development program, is that similar to that?
Yeah, so the community development program is intended to solve this financing problem that small businesses have. We think the major reason why businesses in Bayview and other marginalized communities aren't able to grow is because they can't access the financing to grow. When we're talking about investment capital in California, over 95% of all the investment capital flows into about 6% of the zip codes. And we think we can open that up by creating an avenue for small businesses to get investment and for local residents to invest in the assets in their own community.
So really you want to keep the money in the community.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the goal of the community development program that Onki's heading.
How do you get the word out?
Well, word of mouth. We're going to place our offerings on a platform where everyone can access.
How many people have you served so far?
So we've done almost 600 cases for about 450 local residents. The community development program is in soft launch mode now. So we're working with 2 small businesses to kind of get it started, and we're hoping to fully launch it next year.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on and telling us about it. And for more information on Bayview Hunters Point Community Legal, you can log on to bhpcommunitylegal.org. Again, that's bhpcommunitylegal.org. Coming up, a nonprofit offering a range of home repairs. We'll be right back.